today's video, I suppose. I already kind of started filming. I'm currently on my lunch break, but before this point, you saw some of the things I did at work this morning. I'm just taking you through my day as an archives processing assistant. That is what I do. I'm currently studying to be an archivist, if you don't already know, if you haven't seen any of my videos before. So I thought I would just take you through what I do in a day. I'm currently waiting for my lunch to heat up, but I thought it might be kind of fun to just share with you what I do. And I'll just kind of give you a little bit of a rundown again. So this morning I worked on some supplies ordering that I needed to do. I had to measure some boxes that I needed to order, and file folders and things like that. I also worked on putting together a spreadsheet for some cubic foot measurement that we're doing here in the archive. And if you're not aware, that's totally fine. A cubic foot is a way that you can measure how much you have in a collection in an archive. There's a couple different ways to do it. There's cubic feet. I'm pretty sure there's like linear feet or something like that. But they do cubic feet here where I work. We're just kind of going through the collections, counting how many boxes we have, doing calculations based off of that. And so we needed a spreadsheet in order to put all that information in. I did other odds and ends here and there, but basically those were the biggest things that I worked on this morning. After I take my half hour and eat, I typically do just like a microwave meal. It's easy and easy to put in my bag. After I finish eating and take a little bit of a reading or YouTube watching break, I'll probably come back and do some processing. That is the main portion of my job, and I'll give you kind of a rundown of what I do when I process. But yeah, I'm excited to share this day with you. I'm not sure how long this video will be, but I'm excited to share more about what it means to work in an archive and work in a library. So yeah, I'll continue on with my day later. Alright, I'm back from lunch, and this is what I have to work on processing today. Everything on the cart. So I'm just gonna start paging through stuff and seeing where it should go in the collections. I'm just about to get back from my lunch break, but I thought I would just take a quick minute to say hello again. I'm tacking on another day onto this video, and I'm starting the afternoon now. This morning I was processing more materials. I think I showed you what I do is I've already gone through, we had like a whole shelf's worth of unprocessed materials that I had gone through, figured out where everything went. Now I'm putting it all back in the boxes. As you can see, I have my whole cart here still, and I'm still working through. But I wanted to kind of show you the rest of what I've been doing. I also worked a little bit on our social media. That's one of my tasks as well that I've been working on. So yeah, I thought I would just give you another addition to the day. I feel like I'm getting, now that I've eaten, I feel like everybody who works like a full day, you can probably relate where you get a little sleepy after you eat your lunch. So now I'm like trying to wake myself up, get back into the processing role. But this is the part of the job that I like possibly the most, just because I love looking at the materials. I love looking at all the different stuff, and I like putting them where they belong, because number one, it's satisfying. Number two, I kind of like looking at the other things that I might not have seen before. So there's never a dull moment. Sorry, I can't talk. There's never a dull moment. There's always something new to find. So I'm not sure how I'm going to be ending today, but I think my plan is just to keep getting through the materials, try to get as much stuff as humanly possible back. My goal is to, before the middle of July, maybe the end of July, certainly by the end of summer. I don't think it'll take me that long, hopefully, but that's kind of what I've been doing today. But it's always nice to share some archival work. Yeah, we'll see what else I get up to this afternoon. Hello, welcome to the final part of this archives work video. As you can already tell, I am not at work. I am here at home. Something that I'm very thankful for about my job is I do have the occasional opportunity to work from home and get some stuff done here. And because I am part-time and I work hourly and I took a vacation last week, I'm doing some makeup hours just to, you know, make up the hours that I missed and get a little bit of money that I otherwise wouldn't have been able to get. I'm very thankful for that opportunity. There are a few things that I am able to do when I work from home. I like to work on the social media. I really love that part of my job. As you can tell if you're watching this video, I really like to work with social media and Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and all of that good stuff, YouTube, as we are all here. So I'm working on that a little bit today. I like to plan far ahead. So today I'm finishing up my social media plan for August for our archive, and I might start plotting for September. I've already done some research for it, so I'm probably going to start putting it into the PowerPoints that I like to make for each month. So that's one task that I'm going to be working on. I'm going to be watching some presentations that had been given during an event that my institution has called Diversity Week. I got to learn about Chinese name pronunciation. Today I'm going to be learning about Indian name pronunciation. Right now I am watching a visiting scholar presentation about somebody who comes from the Philippines. So it's very cool that I get to be able to learn about all different types of librarianship through my institution where I work. So yeah, I've been taking notes on that. While I watch that, I'm gonna be writing in my planner, taking notes on the presentation, and then if I have time, I'm going to be working on an oral history project that our archives team has been working on. If I am able, I will work on that today, or I'm also working more from home tomorrow, so I might do that tomorrow as well. I'm back. So another thing that I forgot to mention that I'm working on today is I'm also trying to do some research just to educate myself on reparative cataloging. In the past, within cataloging and things like that in libraries, there have been biases. There's been so much just a lack of diversity, so much bias within the library community, and I just wanted to do some more research just to educate myself. It's something that my supervisor and I have talked about a little bit, and so I'm actually using my university's login, so I have access to all the library and information science journals that I get through my school, and I found some really cool resources. And I don't want to bore you guys, but if you are also a library science or an archive student, or if you're currently a librarian or an archivist and you want to do some research too, I found this really cool book that I haven't read any of it yet, but I saved some of the chapters that I thought I would bring to your attention in case you're interested. It's called Archives and Special Collections as Sites of Contestation by Mary Kanduik, and I can possibly put that down in the box below, but the description looks really cool, and then I'll read you a couple of the chapter titles. The description is: explores the reinterpretation and resituating of archives and special collections held by libraries, examines the development and stewardship of archives and special collections within a social justice framework, and describes the use of critical practice by libraries and librarians to shape and negotiate the acquisition, cataloging, promotion, and use of archives and special collections. I thought that sounded super interesting, and then I took a look at some of the chapters, and they look so cool. So I'll read a couple of the titles to you if I can find the ones. Sensitive Materials in the Special Collection, Some Considerations by Daniel German. Then there's The Gentleman's Ghost, Patriarchal Eurocentric Legacies in Special Collections Design by Jesse Ryan Erickson. Getting Out of the Archive, Building Positive Community Partnerships and Strong Social Justice Collections by Elizabeth Call and Miranda Mims. So, and those are just a few chapters out of 17. So, super cool. Thought if this is also your line of work, if you're interested in doing research about reparative cataloging and just learning how to be more diverse in our collections, then maybe this is another thing that you might want to try out. I might read a little bit of this today. I'm kind of excited to dig into it, but I thought that I would bring your attention to it. So yeah, I'm gonna hop back into it, but I thought I would just let you know. Okay, I'm back again, because I realized watching that clip back, I did not define reparative cataloging well. So I found a definition from the SAA, which is the Society of American Archivists, for reparative description, and I'll read it to you just to have a good understanding. It's the remediation of practices or data that exclude, silence, or harm, or mischaracterize marginalized people in the data used, created, or used by archivists to identify or characterize archival resources. That's just what I'm talking about. So yeah, I just wanted to give you a better description, because if I don't have it written down or if I don't have it in front of me, I just bumble everything. So yeah, that's much better. Also, I'll give you another tip if you're also a archive student, and like me, sometimes you come across a term that you're like, what the heck does that mean? The Society of American Archivists has such a good resource. The Dictionary of Archives Terminology. It's like a huge glossary with so many good definitions. In my first year of library school, I used this so much because I would get confused sometimes with what my readings would talk about. So yeah, highly recommend checking that out as well. Just a little tip. And also, the other really cool thing about this resource is the glossary that I'm looking at. You can look at citations, and it has the link to the article where they got this little quote, this definition, and they have the whole quote right there. Super helpful if you're doing research for school or work like me right now. Like, this will help me with what I'm doing for my work right now. So exciting. So I just thought I would share that with you as well.